Hello, and welcome back to the revival of one of your favorite series. This is a series where we break down OWL plays that might not have gotten enough attention, often too small to even notice. Today, we've collected some plays from the 2023 season that we think you'll appreciate. Let's get started. To kick things off, let's look at how strong a support line can be in Overwatch 2. We joined the London Spitfire as they're pushing bot in overtime against the Boston Uprising on Esperança. In an attempt to boot the Spitfire off the point, Smurf pops ult, but quickly has to retreat and is eliminated thanks to Reaper dealing huge damage. As the bot inches closer, Birdring exits invisibility to stall a tiny bit more before Lee Jae-gon is able to enter the area. Immediately, the entire Spitfire descends onto Lee Jae-gon and pushes him into the corner. Under normal circumstances, this would be certain death. Luckily, Izayaki goes completely unnoticed on the high ground and lands crucial shots on Lee Jae-gon to keep him alive. Izayaki then sleeps Smurf, negating a huge amount of damage from the Spitfire, and this is where things get messy. Lee Jae-gon is then booped into the enemy bubble and has to think fast. Dropped low, but not finished, Lee Jae-gon pops ult to help with personal sustain. Utilizing Rally Shield Bash stun, he singles out Admiral on Lucio and performs a perfect combo, eliminating him from the fight. At this point, Decay on Tracer is free to start harassing the backline and takes out Sparker, and Lee Jae-gon eliminates Hadi on Winston. Pretty much a done deal at this point. The rest of the Boston Uprising are back and force the Spitfire off the point, taking the map. Talk about a support line carry.
Smurf with the Primal Rage. He's going to boot landed away, but he TP straight back in. There'll be London Spitfire moving up with a Death Blossom, and Smurf just taking too much damage. Boom, 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 boom. Sparker just erasing him from the map. And with Smurf dead, who's going to touch for Boston Uprising? Decay's going to come back in just a minute, Scott, but Lee Jae-gon had to get Nanu to stay alive on the point. The IMAX deployed, a double stun. Death Blossom comes out, but Lee Jae-gon is still alive. The EMP is going to be good for Birdring, and the Boston Uprising somehow win that fight.
Next, we join the Florida Mayhem as they attempt to push cart through Factory on Havana against the Vegas Eternal. The Eternal have a strong setup with Tracer lurking and Sigma solidly on the high ground. Because of this, Merritt heads to the flank to hopefully snatch a cheeky off angle. Rounding the corner, he prepares a sonic arrow and shoots it at the door, utilizing his sixth sense to send it directly into Mathel's head. Not skipping a beat, he turns toward main and guesses Tracer is going to try and come from the high ground onto his supports. In the corner of his eye, he catches Dove on top of the boilers, flicks over, and notches another casual headshot. Thanks to these kills, the Mayhem are eventually able to clean up the rest of the team and secure the point. I guess that's the merit of being a good Hanzo.
Propos's gonna stick to the Life Weaver, maybe build up to another Tree of Life. It felt like that Tree of Life was a little bit lackluster, only because the rest of the members of Florida Mayhem weren't there. But, what? Oh my God. Merritt, hello?
Heading into the next play, we join the Houston Outlaws as they attempt to push their cart to complete second point on Junkertown against the Atlanta Reign. Having had difficulties during the Streets phase, the timer is now in overtime, and the Reign will do anything to force the Outlaws off the point. The journey starts with Lip being eliminated by Fearless and being sent back to spawn. This is a crucial pick for the Outlaws, and it looks like they're primed for a swift capture. With the Reign scattered above, it looks like Houston is going to win the round. However, Lip respawns and heads back to the fight. On point, Violet on Brigitte has been closely tracking Stalker's movements on Tracer. Sending Pelican in, he gets Stalker low enough so that Violet can finish him off with a well-timed whip shot. The Outlaws are now 2 up. Unfortunately for the Outlaws, Lip is coming back from spawn. Placing his translocator on the high ground for an escape, he sees Pelican heading through the tunnel and lines himself up. With seemingly perfect tracking, Pelican gets melted before he even has time to react. How Lip did it is pretty cool. He lined himself up parallel with Pelican and strafed alongside his run, allowing the movement to do the tracking for him. With Pelican down, Atlanta bursts into motion, with Chio popping Rally and Violet answering in kind with his own Rally. Lip jumps in and uses EMP, dropping Violet low enough to be eliminated quickly. Happy, who is battling it out with Fearless on point, hacks Chio to give himself some time before Brig's stun is back in play. Knowing the hack doesn't last too long and Chio is back in his face, he has no choice but to translocate out to avoid being insta-killed. Unfortunately, this leaves Fearless alone on point and he's quickly eliminated. As the last of the Outlaws fall, there's no one left to contest the cart and the Outlaws end their push there. The Reign bided their time perfectly with their utility and ult usage on this point, and Lip's Tracer kill on Stalker proves that Lip is absolutely insane on Sombra.
4 players on the cart moving on in. Violet eventually deals with Stalker. Nipping at the heels, but he lingered a little too long here, Matt. The Atlanta Rain are going to look to try and make something happen here as Pelican's been taken down by Lip. What a huge kill. Hawk on the card, Primal Rage in the backline there for Fearless. EMP for 3. Violet's cut down instantly, midway through the rally. And Achio stands tall on the card. Fearless gets slapped senseless. And the Atlanta Rain put a stop to the Outlaws outside of the last phase of the map.
Now let's take a look at how a single Tracer can dismantle your entire back line. We join the Washington Justice as they try to push the cart through Hollywood Warehouse against the Vegas Eternal. The Eternal have set up a defensive position on the high ground with Winston, Ana, and Brigitte. Ben Best, in an attempt to make space for Alphayi, jumps onto the high ground and drops his bubble. Alphayi, Pulse Bomb at the ready, heads in to capitalize. Rack Attack, seeing it coming from a mile away, attempts to dash back immediately to peel, but Alphayi is one step ahead. Dashing out of the way, then immediately back in, he throws Pulse Bomb onto an exposed Brigitte and forces Lucamino out of the room. Lucamino attempts to sleep Alphayi, but he casually dodges the sleep with a frame-perfect recall. Ana, out of options, attempts to escape off the ledge, but gets chased down and eliminated. This recall was otherworldly from Alphayi and shows that he really is one of the best DPSs in the game.
As this Pulse Bomb, and Malthol did find that opening pick, so the Vegas Eternal could go aggressive here. They get the hack onto Teru. Alphayi Pulse Bombs the shield of Rack Attack, but it actually connected to the back of it. The Sleep Dart did come through from Lucamino, but he can't. Alphayi just 1v2'd in that situation. Obviously with the Pulse Bomb, that does matter, but Alphayi a menace at the moment.
Now let's jump back to some support plays. This time, it's Twilight on Ana. On Shambali Monastery, the Boston Uprising have already completed their full run to the end, and the Paris Eternal are on the attack. The Uprising managed to stall them repeatedly before they get a chance to full push onto the cart. Looking like a done deal, it comes down to the wire with around 30 seconds left on the map for the Eternal. As the fight opens, Decay gets a pick on Lucamino, and all hell breaks loose, with ults trading back and forth in desperation. Meanwhile, Twilight is chilling on the backline, taking pot shots at whoever dares peek him. Honing in on Vulcan on Ramatra, he bionades him, which forces him to ult, but Twilight relentlessly shoots at him, eventually getting the elimination. That's one. Heading into the nearby building, Twilight finds himself face to face with a panicking, and pretty low, Malthol, who he quickly dispatches. That's two. Fully bloodlusted, Twilight heads out of the window in search of his next target. Narrowly missing Rack Attack hiding in the corner, Twilight pushes forward and spots Lucamino jumping over the wall on Baptiste. Lucamino, thinking an Ana couldn't possibly approach him, throws his immortality onto point for Dove and Rack Attack. Unfortunately, Lucamino misjudged the situation, and Twilight purples him, forcing a panic window, and then quickly kills him. That's 3. Dove, not having any of this flanking Ana, attempts to turn around and thwart Twilight, but Kalios has his back and defense matrixes the entire clip. Twilight manages to land a shot on the increasingly low Dove and lands his 4th kill. Turning back to point, it's Rack Attack's turn. Entirely surrounded by the Uprising at this point, Rack Attack tries to make his escape, but Twilight lands that last shot on him and nets the kill. That's 5. A 5k on Ana is truly a rare sight to see, and having it happen in the Overwatch League of all places is just crazy. Twilight really is built differently.
I just shut down the whole PC as well. Self-destruct from Kalios does split the team for a little bit, as now Twilight is just going DPS mode. There's 2 kills for the Ana, and with overtime about to be in session. Oh, Secret Agent Rack Attack gets lammed to try and touch. But Twilight is just in the front line playing like he's a DPS. 4 kills for the Ana?
No!
Yes, sir! 5 kills for Twilight. There you go. World-class Ana, and an eat on the Blizzard by Kalios. Boston Uprising with a 3-0 in the series.
Okay, moving on to our next play. And guess what? It's another support player. Let's dive right in. We join the Guangzhou Charge as they attempt to push the payload through the streets phase of Havana against the Hangzhou Spark. Having just won the previous fight, the Charge are looking good to continue pushing while the Spark regroup for their last defense. As the Spark close in, Jimmy takes position on the stairs with Faraway and Xerneas close by. Piggy is on the high ground watching the entrance, and Choi Si-Hwan is by the left door. To initiate, Leave blinks in and takes the duel with Choi Si-Hwan, while Guxue enters through the left door and immediately jumps Jimmy. At the same time, Shy decloaks and hacks Jimmy simultaneously. The Sparks plan is pretty clear: eliminate Jimmy at all costs. However, things didn't go according to plan, as Jimmy lands a headshot on Guxue before he enters. He then lands another body shot mid-jump, and this means that Guxue lands with half HP and is forced to drop bubble prematurely. Jimmy, realizing his only chance of survival is going inside the bubble to be with Faraway's Ana, he runs into the Thunderdome while storm arrowing into Guxue. Guxue falls, but Jimmy drops incredibly low. Now, Shy is peppering Jimmy with everything he's got, while the rest of the Spark close in on the high ground. Monk throws a Bionade down onto Jimmy, and Leave closes in to capitalize. Miraculously, Jimmy lands a game-changing headshot on Shy amidst the chaos, and leaves behind Xerneas' protective barrier to survive. Langsa now drops off the high ground to try and kill Jimmy, and they manage to get him down to a measly 32 hit points. It's at this point that Faraway decides to drop the Uno reverse card and nano boost Jimmy, instantly replenishing his HP. So distracted trying to kill an unkillable Jimmy, the Spark C9'd and the Charge secure the point. This allows Piggy to finish off Monk, Jimmy eliminates Langsa, and Leave accepts his fate at the hands of Jimmy the God. The team play required to keep Jimmy alive here was incredible to see, and the Charge's support line continues to amaze us with their coordination.
Yeah, the Guangzhou Charge, they're at the precipice now. They're about to finish this map, and Hangzhou Spark have nothing to play through. Nano and Rally nearly there, but not quite.
Guxue just getting worked as he goes diving in. Jimmy gets another headshot with the Storm Arrows. Finds Shy as well to boot. Anti doesn't care. He stands strong, and they're just gonna nano him. Why the hell not? Takes out Legs, takes out Leave. Jimmy comes up with, what, 4 kills in the fight.
Moving on, everyone loves a good revenge story. Thanks to Alphayi, we've got one of the best right here. On Lijiang Tower, Alphayi was getting repeatedly killed by Pelican on Pharah. He gets eliminated 10 seconds before the control point even unlocks, killed again 13% into Houston's capture, and then respawns and gets one-tapped by a damage-boosted missile. At this point, Alphayi has had enough of this Far Mercy and switches to hit scan to counter. Now on Soldier 7... Wait, he switches to Echo? Are you sure? Alright, we'll let him cook. Alphayi, on Echo, bides his time until Far Mercy is close enough to contest and launches out, but is dropped low by Shu. For now, he has to fall back. After healing up, he goes in for another try, but Shu nano boosts Pelican. Teru, in response, nano boosts Alphayi to contest. Realizing he's not going to get anywhere shooting a nanoed Pharah, he switches targets to his pocket, Violet. FD God heads around with Teru and assists in getting some shots on Violet, and Alphayi beams him down. Meanwhile, Teru lands a sleep dart on Pelican, and Pelican hits the dirt. Alphayi sees the defenseless Pharah, and at long last, it's time for his revenge. He fires a volley of sticky bombs onto Pelican, and Pelican tries to escape, but the damage is just too much. Alphayi immediately switches targets to Shu and guns him down in the corner. That one felt personal. Continuing his rampage, Happy tries to contest Alphayi, but gets sticky bombed and beamed down himself. Fearless is now on the run, and Alphayi shows no remorse. The Justice get the point, and now we all know that you should never, ever make Alphayi mad.
Typically in the past, it has worked out really well with Violet now playing that Mercy. And oh, look at that. Pelican is able to take out Alphayi at range with the damage boost. Composition where see Mir there gets punched out of his bubble. He's really low.
Oh,
that is
a dirty direct hit. Some teams are opting for like an Echo style, but Farah's very different, right? She really wants to...
No, not again. I mean, we've seen them try the Tracer a few times, and Alphayi was not able to make it out of the spawn. This is Nano here onto Pelican as he's just now juiced up damage boost Nano as he's trying to take Alphayi out of the sky. It's slept here.
Nice. There it
They
is.
finally finish him off. Yeah.
He got both of them too. That's filthy great sleep. I mean, Teru stepped it up in a big way. But Alphayi's kind of freelancing on this Echo a little bit, right? No pocket, but that's not really required. Echo operates so differently to Pharah. Pharah is that damage over time, really over a longer team fight, and
Heading into our last play, what better way to end it off than with a Primal Rage? We join the Hangzhou Spark on Esperanza, as they're about to try and retake the bot from the Seoul Dynasty. The Spark are regrouped on the high ground, and Guxue has ult, a scary notion for anyone. Dropping down to contest Void on Junker Queen, they focus fire him, which drops him low, but he dips out just in time. Now, both teams are at an impasse, and nobody is engaging hard. However, this all changes when Void lands a knife onto Guxue and yoinks him towards the point. Unfortunately, Void yoinked the wrong monkey, and Guxue pops Primal Rage while being nano boosted by Monk at the same time. All hell is about to break loose. Guxue starts swinging on Prophet, forcing him to slide back to the safety of his team, while also forcing Prophet to burn recall. Continuing his rampage, Furious George spots the Dynasty clumped up together near the choke and dives on in, but gets booped by Krillin in a last resort effort. However, this doesn't stop the angry monkey, who jumps back into the middle, cleaving Krillin down with his swings and beating him to a pulp. Prophet is next up in the blender, and Guxue beats him into a corner, going gorilla and landing his second elim. As Guxue's Primal Rage ends, he jumps safely behind his bubble, which creates enough space for Spark to secure the point and the forward spawn. It's dope to see Guxue still pushing the envelope for Winston plays, and we're excited to see what he does next.
A good one to land. Speaking of landing, should be shy leaving Guxue all landing on the same target with the MP.
The opportunity here, Void called in the shout and back away in time. The pressure coming in from the Spark has been next level. Just flailing Prophet away. Guxue is going to be able to dive in with that Nano boost from Monk here too. Playing around Dynasty, pushes them right through that choke point, finds Krillin over to the side, isolates Prophet. Are you kidding me?
That's all we have for this episode of Microplays. Head down to the comments to let us know which was your favorite or which play you'd like to see us break down next. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. This video is made possible thanks to our wonderful patrons. Massive thank you to everyone on this list, and shout out to B, Cloud, Shampoo, Spartacus, and Yashichi for being Platinum supporters, and an extra special shout out to Steph and Jack for being our Diamond supporters. We hope you're enjoying the content. If you want to talk to us, check out our Discord. If you want to support our channel and get info on unreleased videos, check out our Patreon. If you want to help us out in a different way, leaving a like, subscribing, and hitting the bell to stay up to date is also appreciated. My name is Jonah. Thanks for watching.